Hello, beautiful souls. How are you? Welcome to the Liminal Key. My name is Carey. Today, we're going to do an Akashic Records channeled reading for you. And if it resonates, please go ahead and accept it into your heart. And if it doesn't fit, that's okay too. You can just release it. So, when I tapped into the records before, I could feel the record keepers, the guides there bringing through a lot of really interesting messages. And I'm going to tap in again and just get a little bit more nuance to it, and we'll see what comes forth. So, the first thing they're really saying to me is right now, change is imminent. And that word imminent really does mean at this moment. That's what they're giving me the message about. This also really corresponds with the time that we find ourselves in now. This reading is timeless. However, for us here in 2026, it's June, mid-June. Right at mid-June, yesterday we had a new moon in Gemini. So there's a lot of transition occurring right now and a lot of energy that's moving around like a lot of chess pieces on a chessboard. And we saw this a little bit in the last reading, so be sure to take a look at that one. That might also resonate for you. And so I feel like there's a lot of things shifting in your life right now. And I really noticed when I did the month ahead reading at the end of May that this particular time, that by week 3 in June, that there was going to be a big shift that was going to feel as though things were smoother. So what I'm hearing from them is that now is not the time to make a decision right in these few days that we're in. In fact, this new moon energy, because of it being in Gemini and depending on where it's placed in your chart, you want to give it a bit of time, like just even 2 days. 48 hours is what I'm hearing. So again, if this doesn't find you during that time slot, take it as it is for you in this moment. Because my intention is these are timeless readings. And when you're going into the Akashic Records, it's a timeless dimension. And so you're getting a lot of pertinent information that is going to help you right now. So when I'm looking at all of your energy bodies and what you're releasing, there's a lot going on in the third chakra. And I believe we saw this over the last 2 weeks as well. And when we have changes in our third chakra, it really means that we're shifting into a place of being more empowered, that we're feeling excited, that there's an adventure going on in our energy field, quite literally. But also it feels as almost like we want to jump through hoops really quickly. And the issue with that, they're saying, is you don't want to make a mistake choosing something that isn't your best investment. And this doesn't mean that it would make something a disaster. It just means that give yourself a little bit of time. Take a pause, really breathe into this moment and check in with your quiet self, your inner knowing. So your inner knowing, your intuition, that deepest part of you, the truest part of you, is connected in with your guides, with higher self, as well as the Akashic Records. And so if you're going based on being sporadic or moving as though something has to happen now or else something will happen, that's when you want to take a moment, center yourself, and really get grounded and get clear. You might even want to try using a pendulum to get an accurate answer as to if you should do something or not. I also like to go into these sessions with my private clients. And if you're interested in doing that type of session, I do readings and I do coaching, and all the information can be found below. Let's get into the tarot portion of this reading. So change is imminent. That's quite a big statement for them to make. And I feel a little bit of anxiety around it, if I'm honest. And I felt this last night in my own energy field as though, wow, there was a huge shift. And when I looked at, for example, in my own birth chart, where the placement of Gemini is, for me, as an example, it's in the 8th house, right? Which is transformation. Now, Gemini is already a mutable sign. So that means things are really moving and shaping. So just being aware of that in your own chart. So let's pull cards here and I'm going to show you what we've got. And this is starting to make a lot of sense. So we're definitely dealing with finances, with income streams, with you stepping into something that is probably something that you're wanting to build that has a sense of stability, that is financially prosperous, that feels grounded, that feels like something where you have good earning potential. The Queen of Pentacles is, again, the queen of the earth. She's very aware of wanting to create something that is valuable, but that has meaning to her, that is something she wants to invest in. But the good news about this energy for you, if you don't feel in alignment with being grounded and with being wise with your investments of your energy, then you can take a note from a Queen of Pentacles. You can use this type of archetypal energy. This is what I tell my students and clients, to be able to bring that energy into your own energy field, because you have that somewhere in your own archetype. It's in it. It's inside of you. It's part of your higher self. Now, you might be born under a completely different birth chart in your astrology. For example, you might have air and fire and water in many placements, but you can call upon that wisdom of that archetype to really help you get grounded, to help you focus, to help you get anchored, and to help you bring things into manifestation. So it's a really powerful tool that I like to work with my clients with. Now, this is where it gets tough, and this is where I saw the trickles of anxiety coming about, which I do believe is the end of a cycle. It's definitely temporary, so fear not. It's not going to be here forever. But the Nine of Swords is here, and when we see her, that really means an overabundance of too much thought, of thinking about things and vociferating over things constantly, or just worried a lot about what your options are or what could happen. And this is really a time when you want to lean into your practices that help you release worry and fear, really connecting with the earth, going outside, getting grounded, walking with your bare feet, doing things that are physically related that can help you release stress and anxiety. Breath work's very helpful, meditation, things like that. I have some options below that are optional for you if you would like. They're free to be able to learn to tap into your own inner knowing and intuition so that you can feel grounded during this time. Now, the interesting thing is, as you're wanting to develop this new, it's either a business or you're looking at maybe moving in another direction, possibly learning a new skill, or you sometimes feel like a novice, the Page of Pentacles is coming forward. Again, this makes me feel like I'm hearing that you've taken a few steps forward to create what it is you want, but then because of the anxiety, you feel like you've taken 2 steps back. And really, the biggest thing I'm hearing from Spirit is, please don't judge yourself. Please don't be hard on yourself. Please understand that what you're going through is a process, and that manifesting anything and doing it in a way that's in alignment with your intuition, with your highest good, with things that are going to make you feel like you're in alignment with your higher self, that takes time and it takes support. And so this is something that you might feel like you have a long ways to go, but the road I'm hearing is part of what you're going to be developing that will help you with whatever it is you're creating. So let's say, for example, you are creating something in a business, or you're wanting to move into another aspect of the work you're already doing. You're always going to have a part of you that is still learning something, that is still a novice, that still is underdeveloped, even if you've been doing something for a very long time, is what I'm hearing. That's why we're seeing these two next to each other. But guess what's in between them is the Nine of Swords. The 9 is the one that's making you feel judgment towards yourself, the critic. Another vision I'm getting from them, and something I do with my clients, is to imagine if you do have an inner critic, which many of us do, most of us do. You want to imagine that it's outside of you, and you give it some space in your meditative practice, even with your eyes open, to listen to its complaining, to hear what it has to say. And then when you feel like you've heard enough, you can say, thank you for sharing that. You can write it down, and then you can say, now we're going to heal and release this. And these are where using your visualization techniques and practices can really help to ease this tension that we get from our critical nature. We're not trying to pretend it's not there, because that's only going to submerge it further. But one of the things you can do is a practice like this to give yourself a sense of delight, because it's part of the light. So you want to be as close to the light as possible. And the way you have to do that sometimes is by leaning into what is darker, and that's part of our nature. And the reason I'm so optimistic about what's coming up, even next week, is that you're pulling the Sun card, friend. The Sun card is here. So remember that sometimes when you're judging yourself the harshest, the light is right around the corner is what I'm seeing. And I literally see this staircase, like feeling like it's just a very short time away for you. It is a very short time from where you are right now. So give yourself some grace. That's really what I'm hearing. Let me know in the comments if this is something you've been struggling with or what you've been working on. These are things that I really love helping clients with. See, then we also have another page coming out, which really makes me feel that you're branching into either something new related to work, or there's a new venture that you're trying to work on. Because again, we have the Page of Wands, which is, again, a learner's mind. This is you putting passion towards something that you're really excited about, that you are looking forward to, that you want to explore, that you can put your creativity in. And that, coupled with the Page of Pentacles, is a very good combination. That's fire energy. And also, this is meant to happen in such a positive direction because the Eight of Wands means something is happening very quickly. This corresponds to next week, which is what I keep feeling for so many of this collective, that the challenges you're having are actually happening literally right now, but it's very temporary. And that once you move through some of these challenges and these obstacles that feel very much internal to me and energetic, then things will become so much clearer. Now, you are pulling the Five of Swords. Now, the Five of Swords is connected to competition, others judging you, or being in a critical stage where you're leaving something behind where you felt very judged or like there was competition. And you're literally putting the swords down and you're moving on to something much more peaceful. This is why it's a very good move, whatever you're doing. It's very positive for you. It brings a lot of light. And then this is really bringing it together because we are bringing in the Ten of Pentacles. This is legacy card. This has so much to do with feeling as though all your hard work is paying off. And the things that you've been prioritizing or really looking at or wanting balance in, those are the reasons you're doing what you're doing, because I really believe you want long-term success, and you're not just doing things for the next year or two. You're doing things for the next 5 years, 10 years. Things that you know that in that amount of time, you're going to feel a sense of deep fulfillment, investment. It's though this is paying off for you, and that things are coming into completion. I just feel like I'm seeing all of these puzzle pieces getting taken out of the box, the final puzzle pieces getting put into the places where they belong. What a wonderful reading. Again, if you are someone who is really looking for guidance or feedback or just someone to walk the path with you, I am open to doing readings as well as coaching sessions, and I would love to work with you. Just feel free to make a comment or look at the links below. We're going to see what the final message is from Higher Self and your guide through the Oracle. So let's see what they've got coming in. Again, transition for you. Face value. Okay, let's take that one. I love these cards. These are the resurrection cards. Face value. They want me to pull 3. The arrival. And I'm hearing the message coming from the guides. And then the graduate. So something I'm really hearing here is that I think that there has been a lot of worry for you, a lot of second guessing, a lot of picking things apart, wondering about the right time, wondering if this is the thing you should be doing, and going back and forth about this. But what I'm hearing is you are overthinking. The at face value is take it that it's much less complicated than you are picturing or imagining it to be. I feel as though you're bottlenecking your energy because of these moments where your intuitive insight feels blocked. So just understand that's part of the process, is releasing the fear, releasing the judgment, releasing the cloudiness, and just stepping out even if you don't have all the answers. And then we have the arrival. This very much feels like a gift. And I do feel like this is connected. I'm going to see it's number 1. So it's a new beginning. And I do feel like this is connected to literally like a week from now, things just completely shifting. And again, this is a timeless reading. So whenever you're seeing this. And then finally, we have the graduate, number 5. That's the card of change. That's the card of conflict resolved, moving on. So this is, you are ready to move into this position and you're ready to move forward on your path. So give yourself, again, a huge, huge round of applause, they're telling you, because you have done the work. You've prepared yourself. When things come up, continue to just do that release and transmutation work. As always, if you need any support, all the information is below. We will see you in the next reading. Take care.